Howdy folks, Uncle Guido here, one more time coming at you. Let's see, where we left off last time we were looking at some of the basics of numerology, but I'm going to take a little break from that today and just kind of lay out some more of the preliminaries, some of the basic story about old Uncle Guido. I've had several people write in and comment about how did this all begin for you, Guido, and what are your credentials and stuff like that, and what the hell's this leper messiah thing? So I thought I'd address that. I got into metaphysics back in the early 70s, reading Don Juan and stuff like that, and experimenting with the doors of perception, as it is. But at a certain point in the late 80s, 1987, I was reading these Rosicrucian manuals, and I was doing stuff with Lynn Andrews and that sort of thing. And I was bopping on down to my local record store to pick up a new CD. It was payday. And I'm in the record store kind of thumbing around through the CDs and stuff, and this light off behind me goes poof! And I'm, whoa, what was that? And when I look back there was a case full of tarot cards and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, that's kind of odd. That's a little Ouija boardy. That's a little spooky. But I was drawn over there. I went over there and I pulled out this tarot deck, and right there was on the cover of the deck was this guy with his dog standing on the edge of a cliff, and he was called the Fool. And I thought, well, that sounds like me. And so I bought the deck, and I took it home. There was this tiny little book in there called The Stairs of Gold. This was the Taviglione Tarot. That was my first deck. It's an Italian deck. Taught me a little Italian on the side. Anyway, The Stairs of Gold, I'm reading this book and I'm going, yes, I've been searching all over the place. I've been reading Rosicrucian manuals, I've been doing this and that, I've been taking drugs and experimenting and trying to trip the light fandango and get her all, figured out. And here's this little tiny book, and it's talking about how we come lifetime after lifetime, and till we perfect ourselves, till we go through enough experiences in life, high and low, and eventually merge back into the total consciousness that is God, and that the spark of God is with each and every one of us, trying to come into this physical plane and learn His lessons and evolve. This is the plane of evolution, and I brought that up before, that we come down here onto Earth, and we get attached to energies. Now, Uncle Guido's day job is one of his day jobs is a cosmic DJ, and so I'm really into music, as you might be able to tell here. And you come down to Earth and you start playing with this stuff, and you start figuring out what you like and what you're attached to, and it sometimes gets its hooks into you. And so this is where numerology comes in handy, because it can show you where you've got attachments hooked into you and what you need to work on to bring harmony and balance to. Through the birthday, we look at the new energy to be acquired, to be brought in. And through the name, we look at the gifts that you bring from past lives, your toolboxes, I stated in a previous video. So, going back to my little story there, once I got this this tarot deck and stuff, I started learning, and about a couple of years later, I was admitted into my first mystery school, your Center for Truth up in Salem, Oregon. I spent a couple of years up there learning all about tarot and numerology and astrology, and working with a great lady named Jean Morse, who wrote a really fine book on numerology, which I consider the Bible of numerology. And one thing led to another. I started doing professional readings, and for a couple of years I even worked for Dionne Warwick's Psychic Network, doing readings over the phone for people that would call in off of those old TV shows from the 90s. And at that point I had moved up to Montana, thinking that this was a nice place to be, especially if shit were to hit the fan. And been waiting for that to happen ever since 1989. Still eating beans from that decade. Anyway, here we are up in Montana, and we're creating our own little mystery school here. We've got my apprentice Babu on the camera. Wave to the audience, Babu. Yes, he's waving. Just trust me. Anywho, we're trying to disseminate this information on your behalf because, folks, let me tell you something here. There's some things going on that you don't know. And Uncle Guido's just going to kind of lay it all out there, show you where the cow shits in the buckwheat here. I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but look up at the sun. If there aren't chemtrails blocking it out from your vision, but look up at the sun. It is white. And maybe it's just me, but I think most of you might agree that the sun used to be kind of a yellowish tint. Am I correct, Babu? Now that sucker's white. And scientists are starting to see that there's some rays coming out of the sun that they've never seen before, an intensity, a different wavelength bombarding our planet. On top of that, both the sun and the Earth's magnetic field shields are down. So we're traveling through space, being exposed to all sorts of out of our solar system rays that are coming from the galaxy and whatever is coming across our path. Our own personal shields are down. And so all of these influences, these radiations, these higher vibrations are coming through and pounding on us right now. So I don't know about you, but when I go outside on a 40-degree day and that sun is out, you can really feel it crackling down on you. Maybe those chemtrails are a blessing. They're just kind of filtering that out for us. Well, I don't believe that. I believe that what is going on is the vibrations of our galaxy, of our universe, of our solar system, of our planet, of our individual selves, and all the life forms on this planet are being asked to evolve, being asked to go to the next level, being asked to raise their vibration. Now, the Earth itself has what's called a Schumann resonance, and that hovers somewhere around 7.83. And that's basically just the low Hertz 7.83 hum of the Earth. Only way lower than that. You couldn't hear it, so low. Anyway, everything on this planet evolved out of that basic hum. And that's like the base hum that we all relay back to, and it's kind of like the base note that everything is built upon. Well, on the 17th of March, Sunday, early in the morning, that Schumann resonance sucker jumped up to 156 hertz. That's huge. That's way huge. The only time it got up high above 8 before was coincidentally on March 17th of 2018, 1 year to the day, when it shot up to 36 hertz. And scientists were going, oh, look at this. This is quite a spike. Now, it just shot up and it came back down. But what this is indicative of is that we are evolving. We are being shown new vibrations, and our ability to grasp them and to work with them and to incorporate them is paramount right now. Now, as I've talked before, the powers that be want to hold us where we are, down in this very densified, low level of duality, playing their game and feeding their desires, both energetically, financially, spiritually, and on a soul level. They are feeding on us. And so what these tools that I present to you, tarot, astrology, numerology, by working on your spiritual tan, you are going to be able to lift your vibration. Now, we talked a couple of episodes ago about the basics of the numbers, and I'm wondering if any of you are out there when you see a number 1 or 2 thinking about the base words. This is very, very simple baby step stuff, And we're going to start getting into deeper formulas on how this stuff works, how to calculate your name and time and all of these sort of things. This will be coming up in the next episode. But I just want you to know that everything is coming to this nexus point, this big, oh, it's like a pimple just wanting to be popped. Everything's coming to a head, as they say. And it's time to evolve, people. It's time to put away the war toys. It's time to put away the dualistic have and have not scenario where 1% of the planet is thriving while the rest of us are just scraping by. Let's be grown-ups, okay? Do we really need to go start blowing stuff up in other countries anymore? I don't think so. And so this is just one of the side effects of raising your vibration and becoming a citizen of the universe. Working in the vibrations of love and compassion and nurturing and all of this sort of stuff instead of, give me that, that's mine, I'm going to take it, I'll blow you up if you don't give it to me. The warlords and the banksters and the politicians who are in their pockets that are the only ones coming up with these stupid ideas about war and invading other countries and blowing things up. The average Joe just wouldn't even go there if he had to think about it. It's also time to take a hand on this planet and start cleaning up a little bit after ourselves and reining in some of these corporations that don't seem to care about what they leave in their wake when they extract materials from our Mother Earth. Okay, let's get back to how Uncle Guido all came into this. As a young child of the hippie 60s and 70s, my mother was very into Edgar Cayce and stuff like that, and she comes from a gypsy lineage in which my great-grandmother used to read tarot cards and stuff, and so that was kind of passed down a little bit through our family. This whole thing about the leper messiah, what is that? That's kind of a gag that I like to use. A friend of mine dubbed me that when we used to party quite heartily and get into these philosophical discussions till dawn. And I like it because not only is it a line in David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust, but the leper messiah idea is too long we've been looking for messiahs outside of ourselves, people out there that are going to come and save the day for us. And the idea of the leper messiah is these enlightenments that I have found through tarot, astrology, numerology, are for myself and my own integration back towards the cosmos and reunification with God. And these ideas that I discover, I can only give to you and say, check this out. Look in that direction. Look over here. See how you feel and what resonates about this with you. And so you really can't touch my illumination that I've discovered. You have to do the work yourself. You have to go out there on your own and investigate and play with these things. And you will probably end up doing things far beyond, far greater than anything I've done with them. I'm just a teacher. I'm just a finger pointing at the moon saying, check this out. Uncle Guido has found some cool shiznit here, and I'm going to share it with you. And I would like your feedback on all of this sort of stuff. And just remember, the leper messiah, you can't touch that. You don't need a messiah. You don't need to do anything but become your own messiah, your own finger pointing at the moon, your own connection back to source. And these tools are going to help you do that. And so stay tuned. Uncle Guido's going to bring some more stuff up for you to look at. We'll see you in about a week here. Uncle Guido, over and out.